Ancient China, the warring states and the birth of an empire. China was a land torn apart by endless war. 7 mighty kingdoms fought for power, glory, and survival. From their chaos rose one ruler who would forge the first great empire. This is the story of ancient China, the warring states, and the birth of an empire. Welcome to Global History Portal, where history lives again. The Age of Division, 7 warring states. It is the 5th century BCE. The land we now call China was divided into 7 powerful kingdoms: Qing, Ku, Tao, Wei, Han, Yan, and Qi. Each had its own king, army, and ambition to rule all of China. The Zhou dynasty, once mighty, had collapsed, leaving behind chaos. The era became known as the Warring States period, lasting for more than 250 years. Walls separated kingdoms, spies filled the courts, and every ruler dreamed of the same thing: unification through conquest. The wars were brutal. Millions of soldiers clashed across vast fields and muddy rivers. But amid this destruction, China also gave birth to great innovations: iron weapons, crossbows, cavalry, and brilliant military strategy. The rise of Qin, a ruthless dream. Among these kingdoms, one began to rise: the state of Qin. Its land was mountainous and poor, but its people were hardened by struggle. Under the leadership of Duke Xiao and his powerful reformer Shang Yang, Qin transformed itself. They built strict laws, trained disciplined soldiers, and rewarded talent over nobility. While other states drowned in corruption, Qin grew stronger, like a tiger waiting to strike. For the next century, Qin expanded relentlessly, conquering smaller states one by one. By the time King Ying Chang came to power in 246 BCE, Qin was ready to dominate the world. The art of war. During this era of chaos, one man's words changed warfare forever: Sun Tzu, the author of The Art of War. He taught that victory was not about strength alone, but about wisdom, deception, and strategy. Know your enemy and know yourself, and you will never be defeated. Sun Tzu's ideas spread across the kingdoms, guiding generals and kings alike. Battles became as much about intelligence and diplomacy as swords and blood. This was not just war, it was a science. From the Battle of Changping to the Siege of Handan, every conflict was a deadly chess game, each move shaping the destiny of the future empire. The Fall of the 6 Kingdoms. King Yingzheng of Qin, a young, ambitious ruler, began his campaign of unification around 230 BCE. His generals were fearless, his armies unmatched. First to fall was Han, followed by Zhou, Wei, Chu, Yan, and finally Qi. Each kingdom resisted fiercely, but Qin's discipline and ruthless strategy crushed them all. The wars were devastating. Cities burned, rivers ran red, and entire populations were moved or enslaved. But out of this destruction, a new order emerged. By 221 BCE, Qin Shi Huang stood alone as the ruler of all China. He took a new title, Qin Shi Huang, meaning the first emperor. For the first time in history, China was united under one rule. The birth of an empire. Emperor Qin Shi Huang wasted no time in reshaping his new world. He abolished the old feudal system, standardized laws, currency, weights, and writing. Roads and canals connected his vast empire, and along the northern frontier, he began building the Great Wall of China to defend against barbarian invasions. It was a colossal achievement, and a symbol of power born from war. But Qin's rule was also feared. He ruled with iron discipline, executing anyone who defied him. Even scholars who questioned his rule were buried alive, their books burned to erase the past and create a new future. Though cruel, his vision laid the foundation of China's unity that would last for more than 2,000 years. The legacy of war. When Qin Shi Huang died in 210 BCE, his empire trembled but survived. He was buried in a grand tomb guarded by thousands of terracotta soldiers, each one unique, each a silent warrior for eternity. The Warring States era was over, but its legacy endured, a legacy of courage, innovation, and sacrifice. It was a time when generals became legends, philosophers became immortal, and war became the teacher of civilization. From chaos came unity, from destruction came greatness, and from endless war, China was born. The story of ancient China's warring states is not just about conquest, it's about transformation. It reminds us that sometimes the darkest times forge the brightest futures. From the ashes of 7 kingdoms, an empire rose that would influence the world for millennia, and its lessons of strategy, unity, and resilience still echo through history. If you enjoyed this journey into the ancient wars of China, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Global History Portal. Join us next time for another epic story from the Ancient Civilizations War Series. This is Global History Portal, and you've been watching Ancient China, the Warring States, and the Birth of an Empire.